Well, if you found this video, you're a lot like me, trying to figure out on the internet if you get a dually or a single rear wheel truck to pull your fifth wheel or large camper. I am pulling my 2022 Wolfpack 365 Pack 16. I think the gross vehicle weight is around 17,000 pounds. It's 13 and a half feet tall and it's 43 feet long roughly. I've gone back and forth the past 2 years with the dually and the single wheel with different trucks, and I currently just went from a dually to a single wheel on this last month. 2 weeks ago, we drove about 4 hours north to northern Florida to the Crystal River area, had the dually. Loved it, it was great, no problems. Love the dually. It's my daily driver. So yeah, it's a little hard to park. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but it is wide. Currently just went last week to a separate F350 single rear wheel. This truck does have the blackout package, so it does have the 20-inch wheels, so it makes it a little bit taller than the 17-inch dually rims. And I'm about 40 miles into our current trip now, heading south down to the Keys. I can tell a difference. Is it that big of a difference? I'm not sure yet. Is it because it's got bigger tires on it, it handles a little bit sloppier? It is much windier than it was when we went up to Crystal River. I can tell you that, probably at least 10 knots more of wind. I don't know if you can see the flag here blowing. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. But it's windy today. I tow about 5, 6, 7 times a year, trying to figure out if this is that big of a deal. I'm doing 65 miles an hour, got the cruise control set in the middle lane, blowing by me. That's how we do it. I'll check back in about another hour, and we'll see how I think about it. About another hour into this trip here, just hit the overseas highway, and I forgot to mention a couple things in the last section. This is a 2022 F350 single wheel long bed. Pin weight on the camper is about 3,200 pounds, and I forget the exact payload in this truck, but with 3,200 pound pin and 5 people in the cab at 200 a piece, I believe I still have another 200 or 300 pounds extra payload capacity for this truck. I'm going to tell you exactly what I used to hate in every other video that I heard, but it's preference. If you want to stay single, do the single. If you want to do the dually, do the dually. I think as long as you're within your weight capacities and your payload capacities, you'll be fine with the single wheel. Is it a much more comfortable ride with the dually? I will say yes. If you are towing, or you plan to tow long distances multiple times a year, or maybe a month, I would say go with the dually. For me, someone who tows maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, our max towing our distances are usually about 200-300 miles. 2.5 hours here, 2.5 hours there. This trip was only about 2 hours down to the Keys. I think I'm gonna stay with the single. Not because I don't like the dually. I loved my dually. I think it towed great. It was definitely a sit back, relaxed type of drive. This drive, again, it was a little bit windy. You definitely worked while you were driving. It wasn't as comfortable as the dually, but it's also my daily driver. So I get a lot better gas mileage with this truck. You're gonna get obviously 2 less tires you're gonna have to replace. So I think I'm gonna stick with the single wheel. And if you're looking for that decision to make on if you're gonna go with the dually or not with the dually, I really think it has to do with how much are you pulling, and how often, how far, and is it your daily driver? Again, it's a decision you're gonna have to make, unfortunately, for yourself. But with that being said, I think I am going to stick with the single wheel personally. If you have any questions, ask below. This is my first video. I really looked for this video out there, and a lot of other people that, you know, just give you stats and how far it squats and how tight of a turning radius you can get. I don't think it has anything to do with that. It's do you want to sit back and cruise and be comfortable, or do you want to work a little bit, but you want a daily driver that gets better gas mileage and you know, doesn't have the hips? Hope you find this one great. See you.